Minnesota Vikings got off to a blazing, too fast, too furious start week one against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers, kicking off the 2022 campaign. But there's still some Q's. They need some A's heading into week two, Monday Night Football, against the upstart Philadelphia Eagles. So here are five burning questions for the Vikings heading into week two. First up, number one, is JJ's production sustainable? Now, JJ was dynamite against the Packers, completely tore up one of the best secondaries and one of the best defenses in the National Football League. And in the new Kevin O'Connell offense, where they're going to get Justin Jefferson the ball no matter what. Very much akin to how Cooper Kupp got the ball no matter what with the Rams last season. Kevin O'Connell, Wes Phillips, of course, had a big-time hand in that. But I mean, Jefferson is on pace for over 3,000 yards receiving, which would be a record or something. Now, we're just shooting for 2K, but you're going to start seeing defenses completely sell out. Now, obviously, the Packers knew that Justin Jefferson was public enemy number one, except they didn't shadow him with Jaire Alexander. I don't think that defenses are going to make that mistake heading out to the rest of the season. They're going to man up their best cornerback. They're going to bracket him. They're going to double coverage. They're going to shade safeties over the top. So the question is, can Jefferson still get his? Now, it comes down to Kevin O'Connell adjusting to the adjustments, right? And we'll get more into that in a sec. But can Justin Jefferson still deliver 9-10 catches a game, 150-plus yards, a couple touchdowns, even though everyone and their mom knows that he's getting the football? I think he absolutely can. Plus, if and when Jefferson gets doubled and triple team, can Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, Irv Smith Jr., Johnny Munt, Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, Jalen Reagor have themselves a phenomenal game? I think they absolutely can, especially Jalen Reagor. I'm calling it right now. Prediction. First play of the game, 75-yard touchdown, Jalen Reagor from Kirk Cousins. Off of play action, baby. It's happening. It's happening, man. Next up, question number two for the Vikings heading into week two. Can the pass protection hold up? Now, eyeball test-wise, I think that outside of the first half, a couple plays here or there, Rashawn Gary's sack, the couple Kenny Clark pressures. I think overall the Vikings had themselves a very nice game plan for pass protection. I think they kept the Packers' prodigious pass rush in check. They're going to have to against the Eagles because they can certainly still bring it. Whether you look at Fletcher Cox, whether you look at Brandon Graham, the ageless one, whether you look at Jordan Davis, the rookie coming in from Georgia. But overall, I think the unit did rather well, even though PFF dinged them up for 18 pressures. Still only one sack. Kirk Cousins was able to buy a little bit of extra time. They were able to run the ball well. But overall, can you protect Kirk Cousins? Because guess what? He delivers the mail. He delivers the football to Jefferson and Thielen and KJ, etc. And Ken Bradbury, who he didn't grade the best, except overall, I think that was one of the better games that he's played in recent memory. Ed Ingram had sort of a shaky first half, really got things together in the second half, especially in the run game. Of course, O'Neal and Darisaw are two franchise tackles, and then Ezra Cleveland's developing really nicely in year three. Can that hold up? Is that sustainable? Because if they can be about what they were week one, I think this team has a chance to be a dynamic offense and win a lot of football games. Next up, burning question number three for the Vikings heading into the Eagles game. Imodium, stop the runs. So the big question is Jalen Hurts. Like, I don't care about Sanders. I don't care about Gainwell. I don't care about Boston Scott. I don't care about any of that. The question is, can they stop Jalen Hurts? Because that's where he's going to hurt you with his legs, right? He's developing as a passer. Maybe he locks on to A.J. Brown a little bit too much. Devontae Smith. How did Devontae have 0 catches? Whatever. But Jalen Hurts, his running is really what hurts you. It's really what kills you, especially on 3rd and long. You play man, you turn your back, and then all of a sudden he picks up the first down with his leg. It is tough. So the Vikings, they gave up 111 yards on the ground against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. Yes, A.J. Dillon. Yes, Aaron Jones, 6.2 yards per carry. But also the Packers did that on the road without their top two tackles. So that is something there. The Eagles have one of the best young offensive lines in the game. Well, young minus Jason Kelsey. And they're going to try and run the football. They're certainly going to do that. Now, especially when the Eagles are at home, just keeping the Vikings offense on the sideline, that's going to be their best defense, to be honest. So, I mean, Ed Dontel's really got to step it up because it's nice having all the pressures. The Vikings got 11 pressures, 4 sacks. Daniil Hunter, Zadarius Smith, DJ Wanham, they all got after it. But can they stop the run? It's going to be a big-time game for Eric Kendricks and Jordan Hicks and Harrison Phillips. Next up, burning question number 4, really good account today for the Vikings. Is cornerback depth an issue? Now, like we said, The biggest concern about Jalen Hurts is his legs, but the arm is pretty good too. Week one, targeting A.J. Brown, he had a bazillion yards, but Philly has A.J. Brown. They have Devontae Smith, even though he was goose-egged week one. Also, they have Dallas Goedert, who's one of the better tight ends in the game. So, cornerback depth-wise on the outside against A.J. and Devontae, is that going to be an issue? Because Green Bay literally had no wide receivers. They had the corpse of Sammy Watkins. They had the whatever of Randall Cobb. And they had a couple of rookies who had some dropsies, except for Dobbs is going to be a stud. But now the Eagles, they roll in. They're going to be at home. They got themselves some quality receivers on the outside. Can Patrick Peterson and Dantzler and Chandon step up? Andrew Booth's going to miss with an injury, but can Caleb Evans is probably going to be asked to play a number of snaps? Can he get into the game as a rookie? Would like to see that. Next up, lastly, question number 5, burning question number 5 for the Vikings heading into week 2, Kevin O'Connell and Ed Donatel adjustments. Now, the league didn't know what the Kevin O'Connell offense is going to look like. It was very vanilla in preseason, but now he is unleashed. He's put some game tape on wax, and now defensive coordinators are going to come after him and adjust. And now it's time for the adjustments to the adjustments. And something that stood out to me is talking about Kevin O'Connell at Donatel's game plans is going to change every single week, which is something we haven't really been accustomed to. It seems like last couple years, the Vikings offense and defense is you sort of get what you get. And the game plan is a game plan is a game plan. But with Kevin O'Connell, you saw it after halftime. As Green Bay adjusted, the Vikings offense only put up 6 in the second half, no trips to the end zone, but they're able to pick up key third downs. They're able to play that cat and mouse game. Same thing with Ed Donatel's defense. Really shut down the Packers in the second half. 0 points allowed, even picked off Aaron Rodgers. So I mean, Ed Donatel's been around the block. I'm not too worried about the defense, but I'm really pumped up and fired up to see what Kevin O'Connell is going to do. Constantly playing that cat and mouse game, something that Sean McVay, his mentor, was and is phenomenal at, is adjusting to the adjustments, always staying one step ahead, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do with his offense. Hell. Bonus. Question number 6, Siete. Can Kirk stay good Kirk? Now, we know that angry Kirk, we know that frick around to find out Kirk is good Kirk, but if all these things hold up, JJ is still getting loose against double and triple coverage. The pass protection is there. Kevin O'Connell is scheming up a phenomenal offense and always staying one step ahead of defenses that are trying to just get after Kirk Cousins. I mean, how good can Kirk be? Because even though Michael Irvin and our guy Kyle Brandt put it out there, and people laughed at the time, if the Vikings make headway in the NFC, if they have double-digit wins, if they win the NFC North, if Kirk Cousins throws for big-time numbers, Justin Jefferson's in the MVP conversation, Kirk Cousins will be as well. I mean, say the Vikings go 12-5, win the division, maybe they're in the running for the number 1 seed, and Kirk Cousins throws for 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and looks phenomenal in big-time high-leverage games and high-leverage situations. He'll be in the MVP conversation. He absolutely will be. And this is the best situation that Kirk's ever been in. You have an opportunistic defense. You have Justin Jefferson playing as the best wide receiver in the game. Thielen is still a red zone assassin. KJ's a great wide receiver 3. Jalen Reagor has deep speed for days and could be a nice complementary niche piece. Irv Smith, Johnny Munt holding it down. Dalvin Cook is still one of the most dynamic run backs in the league. Alexander Madison is a hammer. And then Kevin O'Connell out there, the new wunderkind, calling plays. I mean, what isn't there to like about this offense? But it's still a question. Can Kirk still say Cinderella, or is it going to turn into a pumpkin at midnight? Who knows? Who knows, man? But that's it. 6 burning questions for the Minnesota Vikings head into week 2. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts. What questions do you have? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.